Somewhere around 11%, I'm told, of Americans own gold and silver. That means there's a massive amount of people out there who inherently know that all the way back to before, excuse me, before Jesus's time, the Roman Empire had gold and silver, and they hoarded that in the storehouses, whether it was in the churches, in the taxation coffer. They pulled gold and silver together and they held on to that because it designated having an immense amount of wealth if you had a good supply of that. In addition to that, as time has gone on, every time our market has taken a dip, market being the dollar has dropped, the inflation is high, we're in a quote recession or even a depression, wealthy people that have gold and silver on standby in their possession, they're actually able to start acquiring things, whether it's artwork, cars, food for their family, you name it. They have that secondary currency that allows them to trade or barter for the things that they want. Right now, if the dollar went out the window and the stock market crashed to zero, I have a little bit of silver and gold bullion in that safe behind me. I could actually pull some of that out and I could go to my local vendor, someone that sells gas, and I could trade them my silver for their gas. Or I could walk across the street and talk to somebody that has cows and chickens and say, I'd like a couple of hamburger bags from you, and I'd like a couple dozen eggs, and we can negotiate a price based on silver and the value that the farmer has versus what I need. So he may say, I want 3 pieces of silver for 10 pounds of ground beef and 2 dozen eggs, and I can say to myself, I have 2 options. I'm going to give him those 3 pieces of silver, or I actually have 3 options probably, or maybe I could go to work for him for a couple of hours and he could say, hey, you've earned off whatever the cost of that is. Or third, I could just go ahead and not eat. Okay. I've discovered something in my family. We all enjoy having food with our meals. As a result of that, I'm not looking to find a way to serve air pudding for dinner to my family. So anyway, that we just talked about bullion. That's really a defensive posture. And we just talked about if something happens, I have a reserve of coins that I can go trade for something that I want. I'm on defense. Okay. I've prepared for that worst case scenario. On the other side of the equation, we have something called numismatic coins, numismatic. A numismatic coin is one that's actually been graded, and it's a collectible coin. NGC is the premier grading company. They're the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. And this particular coin is a 2020 Cook Islands, the White House Ultra High Relief, and it's graded at PF 70, which is Ultra Cameo. So when they grade these coins, the mint again makes the coins, they colorize them in this case, they send those into the mint. They send those into NGC. NGC takes a look at those coins through a microscope. They look for any imperfections in them and they grade them accordingly. Excuse me, an MS 70 or a mint state 70 grade is the highest grade that a piece of silver can get. So again, this is a 1 troy ounce of 999 silver colorized. It's a ultra cameo, as I said. This one is a PF or proof 70. So that particular grading on that coin is as high as it can get. It is quote it's unflawed or perfect, if you will. All right. That talks about both sides of the spectrum. Now, why are we so into the collectible coins right now? Why is that so important for those of us at 7K Metals and for most numismaticists around the world? That's because we understand something. Those coins are offensive in nature. Like anything collectible, as time progresses, collectible things, whether they're Beanie Babies, Matchbox cars, baseball or basketball cards, vehicles, Barbie dolls, Power Rangers, just to name a few that I can think of without really even thinking about it. How many of us would love to go back in time and keep some of those original items in their original boxes in our attic? And fast forward 30 years, my sister used to collect those Cabbage Patch dolls. I just saw one on eBay for sale over $10,000 not long ago. It's a doll. In this case, we have a currency and we have an opportunity not to really buy the currency. We're trading our existing dollars, fiat dollars, which are going down in value, for a commodity, silver, gold, or other precious metals that is at least holding steady, if not going up over time. And when we look at the precious metals that are considered the numismatics, the collectible coins, those collectibles are seeing a nice increase over the last couple of decades in value because they're part of a collection. They're low minted. They had something specific about the production that is nostalgic to Americans. And as a result of some of those coins that were minted, the value of them has exponentially gone up and continues to go up. I always use this example when I do my presentations for everybody because it hits home with the collectability of things. And this process of being slabbed, which basically means the coin's graded, they put the barcode on it, the information about what it is and who did the minting on it. And then that NGC grading on the back and that little hologram there tells you this coin has been sealed as well inside this slab. So it's protected for all time. Let's pretend for a second that this is not a coin. It's a Michael Jordan signed rookie card, right? And your dad knew you love basketball. When you were 16, he gave you this coin. And he gave you this Michael Jordan signed card by Michael Jordan. It's authenticated. It's in a slab. It can't be hurt unless it burnt, of course. But you can spill stuff on this. You could drop it. You could leave it in your pants pocket. It won't get crumbled. My dad, on the other hand, didn't know about any of that. He just gave me the Michael Jordan signed card, right? And I got the card and I loved it. I put it in my pocket. And one day I forgot it was in there and I threw it on the floor and stepped on it and I crinkled my card. And a couple of days later, I was laying in bed looking at it. And I rolled over and fell asleep with it next to me in my pillow and I drooled on it or I spilled my sippy cup. Well, 20 years to 30 years later, you have your signed Michael Jordan rookie card, and I have the exact same signed Michael Jordan rookie card. Yours is in perfect state and certified. Mine's questionable at best, whether it's even real. More importantly, I've messed this card up because I haven't taken care of it. It's no longer in pristine condition. Which one of these do you think is going to be exponentially more valuable to a buyer on that market? It's the exact same thing with silver and gold. These coins that are collectible, if they're in mint state or proof state, and they've been well preserved, they're part of a collection that even enhances the value even more. That kind of is the overall spectrum of what's been available